Josh Giddey hasn't been good to start this season. Through 8 games, he's averaging 12.1 points per game, 5.9 rebounds per game, 4.5 assists per game, 2.8 turnovers per game on 39.8, 23.5, 77.8 splits, and a 43.3 true shooting percentage. To start this season, he is averaging career lows up to this point through 8 games in points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, assist to turnover ratio, 3-point percentage, 2-point percentage, field goal percentage, free throw attempts, and true shooting percentage. It's been rough to start the season. And I'm not gonna say, he shouldn't be starting this and that, because trust me, I've watched the last few videos I've done, and they backfired. I made the Killian Hayes video questioning why he should be starting, and he immediately has probably one of the best games of his career against the Warriors. He looked great in that game. Sohan had a good game after I talked about why he shouldn't be a point guard, although I still believe that one. And Killian Hayes wasn't good in the game after the Warriors game. But, like Sohan and like Hayes, he's still really young. He's only 21 years old, just turned 21. In fact, he's younger than Chet Holmgren. And, you can't just ignore what he's done the first 2 years. He's gotten better during his first 2 years. The points per game went up. Rebounds per game went up. The field goal percentage went up. The 3-point percentage went up. So it really feels like a slow start, but it's a bizarre slow start for him. And the main thing for me is the playmaking just doesn't feel as effective as it usually is. He's been a solid playmaker on tape, but Josh Giddey, the first 2 years of his career, has been a special playmaker on tape. Sidelines, out of bounds. We don't have to go any further into what that acronym is. I do think there's actually a connection between that nickname John Hollinger gave him and his slow start. But that's another story for another time. The vision's off the charts with him. And, it just doesn't feel like he's doing what he usually does as a playmaker. What I've been seeing him do as a playmaker for years, even prior to the NBA, during his time with the NBL. So, could it be maybe he got injured? I don't know. Maybe he's playing through something. Maybe it's just adjusting. There's new teammates. Chet Holmgren's there. Cason Wallace is now there. He's getting minutes. Ousmane Dieng's starting to get minutes. Maybe he's adjusting to that. He is playing less minutes. That is a factor. He's averaging 28.1 minutes per game to start this season. Leading up to this season, through his first 2 years, he was averaging 31.3 minutes per game. So if we look at per 36 numbers, it's a bit better. But the numbers are still down. Even if you compare the per 36 or the per 75 possessions, all of those numbers, he's still averaging close to career lows across the board, minus points per game. And I think he figures it out. I think he's just too good and too skilled and too smart not to figure it out. But it's been interesting. He's not the only one that's struggled. Franz Wagner has struggled a bit to start the season efficiency-wise. Cade has not been good efficiency-wise. And, it's still, again, they've only played 8 games to start this season. There'll be 9, depending on when you're watching this. This is going up before their game against the Kings. But, I think this OKC team has a chance to be really good. They're 5-3 right now. Their losses, for the most part, have been really good teams. They lost to Denver, which should be expected, because Denver is the best team in the NBA. I think they're easily the favorites to go back-to-back. They lost to the Pelicans in a close game. The Pelicans, a bit up and down, but they're going to be like in the playoff hunt this year. And Golden State, they lost to on a controversial Steph game winner. We don't have to go into that, but like Golden State's a really good team, and they have wins against teams that I think are good. They beat the Cavs twice. I think the Cavs are one of the better teams in the East. The Pistons team they beat, it's a really scrappy, like, playing level team, in my opinion. They got in Detroit. They beat Atlanta, who I like a lot. Atlanta looks really good under Quinn Snyder. Now they're playing Jalen Johnson. I'll link the Jalen Johnson video I did in the description, pin comment, or whatever, because I really think you would enjoy that on the main channel. But, I think OKC's looked really good. Chet Holmgren is unreal. He's been incredible. Gilgeous-Alexander is still doing what he's been doing these past few seasons now. He's playing at like an all-NBA first-team level. Jalen Williams, J-Dub, he looks great. Casey Wallace, for a rookie, looks incredible. I made a video today talking about him. You can check that out. I'll link that in the description and whatnot as well. But Giddey, the shot, it's always been a question. It's not like he can't shoot, but like he's never been a great shooter. The finishing has regressed a bit. The playmaking regressing still remains like the one thing for me that like really stands out. But I think he figures it out. I hope he figures it out. I love Josh Giddey. I've been a fan of Josh Giddey well before he was even in the NBA. He was somebody at the global academies that was really standing out among scouts. I remember watching some of his like international tape prior to the year before he entered the draft, and thinking this could be a potential lottery pick, when many thought he was like a second round prospect at the time. And he ended the 2021 NBA draft cycle for me on my board as my number 5 prospect. And in the NBA, like, he's been pretty good. Like, he's putting up really good all-around numbers through his first 2 seasons. Like 13, 8, and 6 as a rookie, 17, 8, and 6 as a sophomore, with the efficiency getting better. So it's probably just a slow start. I wouldn't be too worried about it if I was an OKC fan. People are going to get their takes off. It is what it is. Everyone's overreacting at the start of the season. Basically, every video I've made, minus probably the Ben Simmons video, has been me overreacting to the start of the season. And I know a lot of these videos I make on the second channel are gonna probably not age too well. But, it's been bizarre with Giddey. It really has. But he, I hope he picks it up. But, not only to see like the scoring go down is weird, because I thought even if if he was averaging 12 points per game and shooting below 40% from the field and having like a true shooting percentage below 50, I thought like the other numbers would pop. Like his rebounds would be really good and the assist numbers would be really good. But overall his numbers are just down across the board. So maybe he picks it up during the second half, or maybe even earlier than that this season. But I think once he does pick it up, that OKC team, they're going to do what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to be one of the 6 best teams in the West. And that's even with Giddey playing like he is now. But like definitely a lock, in my opinion, if Giddey is playing closer to what he was specifically in the second NBA season. But yeah, that's all I had to say in this one. Have a nice day or night, depending on when you're watching this.